And as news of the crash is breaking, Senator Kelly Ayotte was meeting with the Ukrainian ambassador to the United States. Senator Ayotte joins us. Nice to see you. So what happened? You're talking to him and you get news of this?
Exactly. We hear about the plane going down. And I can tell you that the Ukrainian ambassador believes that, that the separatists have Buk missiles. They were provided from Russia. And that's what I think we need to understand here. If the conclusion of this investigation is that either the missile came from, it's a missile that came from Russia, or it was from the separatists, and it's a Buk-style missile. I mean, this came from Russia. Russia has their fingerprints all over it either way.
Does it make a difference? If it's the S-300 missile, it is definitely the Russians who actually fired it. Does that make a difference in if they supplied another missile launcher, the SA-11, to separatists, let's say a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and then they did it? Does that make a difference?
In my view, it doesn't, Greta, because they have been fueling this violence in eastern Ukraine. They have funded the separatists. They have given them the training to use this sophisticated military equipment. And this violence is as a result of decisions made by Vladimir Putin. And so they set in motion what happened, if that's what the investigation reveals and what comes out at the end of the day. And personally, I think that this is something that yesterday I was pleased that the administration issued these additional sanctions. I've been calling for them for a while. But this should be a game changer if we find out that either it was Russian-backed separatists who did this or Russia itself.
Well, I'll tell you what makes this profoundly different than I suppose other things is that there are reported to be Americans on board that plane. We have not had it verified, but this is not just the separatists and Ukraine and Russia battling over some land. You've got Dutch. You've got British, you've got people from the Philippines, you've got Americans. I mean, the list goes on and on of the number of countries that are involved here, you know, who have been murdered at 33,000 feet. This is a very different situation than just the fighting among themselves.
It's devastating to the victims of this, obviously, and there needs to be total accountability. And that's why I say if we find out that the investigation shows Russian-backed separatists or Russia, game changer, wake-up call not only for us. We issued tougher sanctions tomorrow. There are much tougher sanctions we can issue, more support for Ukrainian military, but also the Europeans, because they have not followed suit, and they should have a wake-up call.
Well, they're expecting to announce their sanctions later this month, but this does certainly, I think, put a certain different put this in a completely different light.
A real urgency.
Well, not only that, but it's a murder of Americans at 33,000 feet and other people. I mean, what are we going to do? I mean, what are we going to tell Putin? We just want some accountability. We're going to like make it a little harder for you financially. I mean, what can we do?
Well, personally, I think that we can have a dramatic impact on their economy more than what was done yesterday. But Iranian-type sanctions, which would be the next real significant sectoral sanctions, and also, I would say, Greta, I mean, there needs to be accountability with the international community. I think that this is a crime. I mean, this is beyond a crime. This is an act of terrorism, and that needs to be held accountable.
Like
I mean,
how?
they have to show accountability. So I think what we need to do, not only sanctions, military support, we shouldn't be doing, encourage everyone not to do business with Russia, and we have to alienate Russia because this is, you know, what has happened has escalated. And unfortunately, we have not taken as tough a steps as we should have in advance of this.
Well, certainly Senator, thank you very much. And this certainly is distressing news tonight, but thank you very much, Senator.
Very distressing. Thanks, Greta.